My pleasure. I mean, if a lady smells good, you say it. You smell amazing. And you look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We are so delighted to have you.
Yes.
So you were born in Dar es Salaam. I mean, what prompted the move to South Africa? As we say, South Africa.
So I was a diplomat's kid, actually.
Ah.
I came here in 94.
Yeah.
I was 10 years old. And my father was appointed first ambassador of Tanzania to South Africa.
Okay.
So it wasn't by choice.
Oh, okay.
I hopped on.
Yeah, I know the benefits of being associated with a diplomat, because I know when there's a roadblock, you hardly ever get stopped.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yes.
Gosh, no. My dad blocked that.
Is it?
He realized, I don't know which year, how old we were.
Yes.
'Cause I have two other sisters. He said this thing of sitting behind the car with me is not on. So we're getting a blue Suzuki.
Yes.
Your mother's driving you around and it's going to be a normal day.
Wow. So, I mean, when did you realize, you had an interest in fashion and that you could, make a career out of it?
I think everything for me happened as a happy accident.
Yes.
I happened to be good at drawing. That turned into someone saying, you're good at drawing. That gave me confidence. Then that made me go into fashion school. Fashion school, I had an aha moment that whatever was in my head cooking could come out of my hands. And it was upwards from there.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about drawing, I know that I am horrible. I can't even draw a bottle of water or a car or someone's face. So how old were you when you started drawing? Did it start from an early age?
Yes. When I was in Dar es Salaam, I remember vaguely I used to kind of draw all the time. And obviously I was the oddball in the family. Your father's an ambassador.
Yeah.
Your mom is an executive at a bank. You are here with your fashion dreams.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So that was. It didn't take too much convincing because I was quite a feisty kid in terms of knowing what I wanted. So I also knew I had to prove myself. So proving myself was a big deal.
Yeah.
Especially to my father.
Yeah.
I think my mom was always like, okay, let's see what happens. But
because it would have been easy if, for instance, you wanted to be a lawyer or an accountant, but fashion, they were like,
oh, yes.
Really?
I mean, my dad even tried to convince me, and I don't know if he remembers this. He's probably listening now.
Hey, Dad, how you doing, Dad? It's Glen here. Hello to you.
I think he had said, okay, maybe do jewelry design, because I think that makes sense, and you can do it maybe like in America. I'm like, no, I want to do it here.
So you you studied at the London College of Fashion in the UK. How did this phase equip you with the skills that you needed?
I think going to the UK was such an eye-opener to how great the South African education system was. I knew quite a lot of things compared to my peers.
Yeah.
So I was a jack of all trades, and I was with masters of so many. And it was great to know that I wasn't, I'm not that far off behind.
Yes.
But I just had to hone in a particular skill that I was interested in. So when I unleashed that skill, which is pattern cutting, basically the architect of clothing, that meant I could do anything. Kids wear, men's wear, I could do home range, I could do women's, you can do anything. As soon as I did that, came back to South Africa, the confidence level was at 1,000.
Because I can imagine going to a foreign country, especially the United Kingdom, you think it's a first world country, they are way ahead of us. You must have been intimidated and say, wow, okay, there's going to be so much competition here.
No, not really. Glen, I've always been confident in myself, and I've always been very honest with myself. What I could do, what I couldn't do. And I always focused on what I couldn't do so that I could do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I've always been, I don't know why I am that way, but being there and seeing others doing highly creative things, kids from Hong Kong, kids from the UK itself, France, you sit there and you're like, woo, game on. Like you too. You're also you're worthy of being in this space. So that's why coming back for me was like, guys, people are doing things out there, we can do it too.
Excellent. Tell us about the DNA of your brand.
So I focus a lot on detail.
Okay.
I focus a lot on customer experience and customer relationships. I think these are quite strong pillars to make any business work.
Yeah.
And work in a very effective way. So if, let's say, I have 3 legs in my company. I have the retail aspect, the private client aspect, and the partnerships with different corporates. If, say, retail is a bit slow, you already have your customer relationships. So you can say, right, I have booked myself 15 private clients for this month. I've booked 50 for the next 6 months, etc. And you keep that going. And I think that's what helps the brand stay successful.
Excellent. So, also interesting is that you currently run 2 studios. I only have 1 phone. I can't handle 2 phones.
Listen,
so
me too.
I don't know. I don't know. How do you run 2 studios? Yeah. 1 in Johannesburg, 1 in Dar es Salaam. How do the 2 studios compare? Do you stock a similar range in both studios?
Yes, so I think to be cost effective, it has to be similar.
Okay.
Dar es Salaam is a very warm, Tanzania as a whole is a very warm country. As you said, you've been there.
Yes.
It's really warm. South Africa is warm and dry, and we have our harsh winters sometimes here. So it's just a flow of things to see what is working, what isn't working, and to move quickly. And I needed to diversify because the world is big. So to just stay in one place and not discover another, it'll be a disservice to yourself as a person and to your business too. And it took a long time for me to see that.
Excellent. It's Radio 2000. It's the Glen Super Drive. 15:49. It is a Friday afternoon. And of course, this time of the day on Fridays, we have Fashionable Fridays. Our guest today is Anissa Mpongwe, Creative Director at Anissa Mpongwe Atelier. So, you've worked with A-listers. Unfortunately, the 2 of us in the studio were still on the D. Very soon, we'll be A, hopefully, and you'll work with us. So you've worked with notable names, including former U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama, Solange, and our local girl. I mean, how did those, 2 opportunities come about?
Gosh, I need to mention Anele Mdoda too.
Oh, Anele, yes.
My gosh, and I need to especially mention her because she's a friend first.
Okay.
She's an amazing woman, and she was the face of, at that time, Loincloth and Ashes.
Okay.
So she's been very supportive of the brand from day one. What was the question?
I was just saying that, you've worked with Michelle, Michelle Obama, Solange, how did those opportunities, come your way?
So with Michelle, with Mrs. Michelle Obama, respectfully, when they were having their African tour, we happened to be put in a list of designers that could present a gift to her.
Okay.
That was very exciting for me.
I remember when she came to South Africa, right?
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So that was extremely exciting. But I also didn't have proof, like, I gave something to Michelle, like she has one of my items, until an official letter came from the White House. And it's still framed. That it's true.
We will auction it one day.
Right. And with Solange, it was such a happy coincidence, a mixture of that and good timing. I got a call one day from Elle magazine. They said, we are sending you an NDA, sign it before we tell you why. I said, oh, Lord. And they said, yep, so here's Solange. She loves a lot of your things, and we are shooting a campaign with her. And I said, great, and I was excited, but I couldn't say anything. Then later on that day, actually in the evening, I'm sitting at a dinner with my friends, and I get another call saying she liked all of your things. We're shooting most of the things in your stuff, so you need to fly over the next day. Well, tomorrow morning.
And you were still mom. You couldn't tell your friends.
I couldn't. I had to hush. It was.
I bet you drank water that day.
Water wasn't it. It was something a little stronger. So that was incredibly exciting for me. I wore everything under the sun. Every time I see the pictures of me in Solange, I cringe because it was an exciting. I wore all the colors of the rainbow, it was a happy coincidence, and I was very grateful.
No, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Last year, you decided to reinvent the brand from loincloth and ashes to Anissa Mpungwe Atelier. What inspired this move?
I think, like many people, the past 3 years, maybe possibly 4, has been quite interesting.
Yeah.
I always joke around and say, well, it's not really a joke. I went through a renaissance. I had to sit down with myself and do an audit of everything, including my life, what I wanted to achieve, what I wanted to leave behind, legacy, all of this. And because I went through over a decade with loincloth and ashes, I felt that I was a guest in my own brand, and I didn't feel that I was doing anything new or anything exciting or inspiring. So I said, right, need to take a year off, pack up, go to Tanzania, and do and reinvent yourself.
Wow. Okay, so what are some of the changes that came with the rebrand?
Oh, lots. You obviously you changed the branding, you changed the offering. I'm doing resort wear, homeware, and I really want to dab into skincare.
Skincare. My skin needs care. Are there any South African fashion brands that you see yourself possibly collaborating with? Because collabos are very huge.
I'm big with collaborations. I think it's such a learning moment. Can be such a learning moment. I would have to say an old designer, his name is Carlo Gibson. He owned a company called Strange Love. He is a master in pattern cutting. I think my brains would basically be on fire being around somebody who's so wise in how to work with fabric and know how to bend and cut fabric.
Have you met him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Cool. So it's going to happen.
Yes.
It will happen. Tell us about your upcoming project, Eye in the Sky. There's a song that I bought yesterday. It's called Eye in the Sky.
Oh, really?
Yes.
By who?
I can't remember.
Oh, can you?
But I bought a song yesterday, Eye in the Sky.
Okay.
Yes. Let me check.
Yeah, so Eye in the Sky is my next project. It is the collection that is coming out July 17th.
It's a guy called Kerry Chandler.
Okay.
Yes, thanks.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know him. So it's a big project that is coming out in July 17th. Yes. The collection is going to be live online, anissampungwe.com. And it's basically my comeback. Big project. Actually, I was just telling somebody outside that you got me at the right time. I just landed back in SA to do a lot of work with that. And maybe possibly some nice collaborations that I can't speak of.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You'll tell us in the next few weeks about these collaborations. And where can people find you? Where can we find you, girl? Okay. Where can we find you?
So the best place to see what I'm up to is Instagram.
Yes.
at Anissa Mpungwe.
Okay.
That's the easiest. Facebook. I'm not a very good Twitter person.
Yeah, same here.
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
TikTok is still a little iffy for me too.
Well, if you have jokes, you go to TikTok. If you want to jokes and you want to make us laugh, yes, you go to TikTok.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the biggest ones are those. The website is not obviously live because we're working on the big project.
No, excellent. Such a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for coming through to our show. Hopefully, Nathi, who's never bought even a handkerchief online, will be encouraged and motivated to go through on your website and buy something. you know, and just buy something, please.
Yeah.
Don't embarrass me.
At Africa Rise?
Yeah, I pulled out. So
you pulled out?
I pulled out last year.
Oh.
So at this new launch now, I'm going to go back in.
Oh, there we go. So I don't need to go online. She's at Africa Rise in Sandton. She'll be at Africa Rise.
Yeah, but you know, online there'll be exclusive.
Will they be exclusive?
I know for sure. She's not going to have everything in the store, right?
No,
Am I
not
lying?
everything in store. Most things are going to be online, but you can go to Africa Rise.
Yeah, let's teach you. Not everything is going to be at that
store.
School
me, Sensei. Okay. School me.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Listen, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
That's Anissa on Radio 2000 Mpungwe, creative director at Anissa Mpungwe. I tell you.
Bloemfontein, we've got you covered on 99.5 FM. Feel good music.
And things will keep coming, I know it's kissing all day.